StraightallDay.com.
Now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day, to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. Dre, what is that? That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called work on your game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is part 2 of our ongoing 5-part series, which is Men Stop Being Pussies. I don't need to give any intro to this. You heard it yesterday, but let me tell you a couple things you should know. Number 1, my text message number is down below in the description. Number 2, my email list. To get on it for free, get my emails every single day straight to your inbox for free. Go to workonmygame.com. That link's down below. Also down below is a link to Work on Your Game University. That's where you can have me as your personal coach. Yes, I do coaching. Yes, there is a way to get into it. And the link, workonyourgameuniversity.com, that also down below in the description to this episode. With that out the way, let's pick it up right where we left off. This is point number 4. Again, this is part 2 of what's going to be a 5-part series. If you missed the introduction, which is part 1 yesterday, make sure you go check that episode. Here we are on part 2. Point number 4, stop prioritizing comfort, ease, and relaxation. All right, these are the domains of women and children. Women should aim to be comfortable, quote unquote happy. They want things to be easy and they want to be able to relax. I have a child. Who's, as of this recording, 2 years old. He takes a nap every day. He gets to relax and take a nap and recharge his batteries in the middle of the day. This is something that children get to do, women get to do, and things being easy and comfortable. Again, women and children, they get things easy and comfortable. And man, sometimes things will be easy. Sometimes you may feel comfortable. Sometimes you may get to relax, but that's not really the essence of what you are here for. You're here to take on all the challenges so that the women and the children can be comfortable and relaxed. There's a give and a take to everything, folks. Remember, everything in life has a trade-off. There are no perfect scenarios. The scenario for a man is that you are giving up comfort, ease, and relaxation to do all the hard shit. And the trade-off of that for you, because you're doing all the hard shit, is that the women and children around you get to have things comfortable, easy, and relaxed. And the fact that you don't get those things means you have to do all the hard shit. But the trade-off of that is the women and the children around you have a lot of honor and respect for you because they know you're the one who's making it easy for them. That's the man's role. And this is in wider society. I'm not just talking about in families, just wider society. It is not a man's ideal to be comfortable or happy and at his ease. Maybe when you're old and retired, you can sit on your porch and read the newspaper and drink coffee for 3 hours a day. But during your youth, your able-bodied years, and that's where many of you who listen to this are, that's not really the goal. That ain't the goal for us. And I'm talking to the men. A man is responsible for production. We're responsible for effectiveness. We're responsible for handling problems, and we're responsible for getting things done. And again, I'm talking about men in wider society. I'm not just talking about in your house. If a foreign army invaded the United States of America, we're not sending women to the front line. We're sending the men to the front line. The men are responsible for that. When things need to get built and there's backbreaking manual labor to be done, you don't hear any women bitching about getting roles in those jobs, do you? Interestingly enough, do you? You hear women wanting to be CEOs, women want to be president, women want to put on a pantsuit and go get in the office and talk shit on a microphone. You don't see any women saying, hey, I want to be the foreman of a construction crew. You don't hear too many women bitching about that job. Interesting, ain't it? Isn't that an interesting thing? A man is responsible for these things. Production, effectiveness, handling things, getting shit done. While we may sometimes be happy and able to relax in this process, that's not the aim. You may get episodic moments of happiness and relaxation, but that ain't the aim. That's not what you're here for. In life, we have to have our priorities. All right. No man should be prioritizing ease, comfort, and relaxation. And I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't prioritize it, because the trade-off of ease, comfort, and relaxation is that somebody's got to do the hard shit in order for you to have that ease, comfort, and relaxation. The question is, who's going to do it? All right, unless you happen to be a homosexual man, there's no man who's going to live a hard life so that things can be easy for you. So I'm really talking to the heterosexual men in this series. If you're a heterosexual man, who's going to do all the hard shit so that you can relax? Nobody. You. You're going to do the hard shit so the women and children can relax in your presence. And they will honor and respect you because of the fact that they know that that's what you did, even if they can't always articulate it. Now, if you have the right woman in your life, she should be able to articulate it. Maybe not the kids, but the woman should. And if she doesn't, find one who does. So our priority as men is creating a situation for everyone around us, again, family, spouse, staff, community, clients, customers, We want to create a situation for them where they are comfortable, where they're good, where they're taken care of, and they know the reason they're in that position is because of you. That's what you want. That's our satisfaction. Satisfaction for a man is not being able to lay on the beach and to take Instagram pictures. That's what a woman does. Satisfaction for a man is to look at his woman laying on the beach taking Instagram pictures, knowing that she's doing that because of you, and she knows that you know she's doing it because of you, and she lets you know that she knows. That's what a man wants. We'll do the hard shit for that in exchange. You get it? So we're willing to trade our access to the relaxation and the ease and the comfort to make it available for everyone else. That's what makes you a leader. That's just the wiring of a man. I don't want to relax. I don't want to go on vacation for a week. You couldn't pay me to go on vacation. Actually, you probably could pay me. If you paid me to go on vacation for a week, I wouldn't really be on vacation. I would go to the place, but I'm bringing my laptop. I'm gonna get the Wi-Fi set up, and I'll be working for the most part. It's only so long I can lay on the beach. That shit is boring. I want to go make something happen. That's the essence of man. I'm not saying everybody thinks the way exactly that I think, but most of the men who are listening to this, who are my core audience, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't even have to explain this. I couldn't go on a week-long vacation. I mean, I could technically be on vacation for a week, quote unquote, on vacation, but I'm not really going to be vacationing for a week. I could vacation for maybe a day and a half. After that, okay, I got to do something. I can't just sit here. I don't even feel right. Mentally, I don't feel right. My body doesn't feel right if I'm just doing nothing. I need something to do. There's only so much relaxing that a man is going to be do when he's in his essence. Only so much relaxing a man can do before it's like, okay, all right, let's find something here. So we trade our access for this. To be the leader. We trade our access to relaxation, ease, and comfort. This is what we call the penalty of leadership. Penalty of leadership is that we don't get relaxation, ease, and comfort. The trade-off of that penalty is that we get all the respect, honor, and honor. Let's just call it that. And recognition and appreciation because of the fact that we traded off everything else for that. And sometimes you only get episodic moments of this appreciation. But the episodic moments of appreciation make all the effort worth it. So that what I just told you there, ladies who are listening to this, if you have a man in your life who is paying this penalty of leadership, I just gave you a hint there. Let me spell it out for you explicitly. Let that man know that you appreciate what he is trading off in order to make things comfortable and relaxed and easy for you. And if you could just let him know that every once in a while, that's worth a week or a month or two of vacation for him that you like. All right, that's a month or two of vacation for him. You just letting him know in some way, shape, or form that you appreciate him, whether it's through your actions, through your words, whatever his language of love is, you should know, but you should be letting him know. Again, that's another hint that I'm gonna drop for the ladies in the midst of this series. Moving on to point number 5. Today's topic, once again, is men, stop being pussies. Number 5, stop trying to be entertained and look for ways to produce. So this ties right to what I said in point number 4. Social media. There are some great things about social media. Most of you know about me because of some form of social media. And there are some trade-offs of those great things. One of the trade-offs, actually you can look at this from either angle. Social media provides endless resources for entertainment and mindless consumption. Again, women and children. A woman can sit on her phone and scroll through social media feeds looking at a whole bunch of nothing for hours and be completely satisfied with those hours scrolling through social media. If a man finds himself doing that, and it happens to men, some of you men listen to this, I know it's happened to you because you've told me that it's happened to you. You should be pissed off at yourself that it happened. You can prevent it from happening, but let's just say you got caught in that matrix and you found yourself scrolling through social media for an hour on some bullshit when you're supposed to be working. As soon as you realize that you wasted that hour scrolling through social media bullshit, you should be mad at yourself that you did. See, a woman scrolls through social media for an hour, she ain't even mad. A kid does it, they ain't even mad. If you do it, you should be mad because you could have spent that hour doing something to move your situation forward because that's your responsibility. It's not the woman's responsibility. It's not the child's responsibility. It's your responsibility. So social media, being a resource for endless entertainment and mindless consumption, is a great business to be in if you're on the producer side. Hint, men, if you're going to be using social media, use it as a producer, not a consumer, so that you can take advantage of the fact that other people waste their time on it, not you being one getting your time wasted on it. Get it? You want to monetize other people's time. So it's what social media apps do, by the way. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all they do is monetize your time and they get paid, you get nothing. So you want to get on that side of the equation where you're getting paid and everybody else is getting nothing. Don't be the victim. So it's a great business to be in as a producer. Because again, you can offer people nonsense, you can sell it to them, and there will always be active and eager buyers of nonsense, because there will always be a mass of human beings out there who would rather be entertained and have their time sucked away from them, and they want to remain in a mentally vegetative state, than there will be people who want to actually work and get things done. There will always be a majority of people on the side of consumption and doing nothing, rather than the side of producing and doing something. On the flip side, if you are not selling or offering these things, you want to severely limit your engagement with them. Severely limit your engagement. That means give yourself limits, hard limits, and honor your limits. This is a discipline. And men need to be disciplined. Women and children don't need to be disciplined. Men need to be disciplined because you have a responsibility. So check your random, mindless social media feed scrolling, text message checking, and email perusing. Do not fall for what we call the thirst traps on social media. Everybody knows what I mean when I say a thirst trap, right? If you don't know what that term means, a thirst trap is a sexually suggestive photo or video that a female posts on social media with the explicit intention of drawing your time and attention away from whatever it is you were supposed to be looking at on social media into her. And it usually leads to you looking at another post and another post and another post. And before you know it, there's that hour sucked out of your life and you got nothing in exchange for it. So that's what a thirst trap is. Any of you who've never heard of that phrase. And there are women out there who post thirst traps for a living. It's literally their career to post thirst traps and to suck time, attention, and eventually money away from men who don't know any better. So I'm telling you, to be a man in your essence, you don't fall for thirst traps. And as I explained in the previous episode of this series, when you're a man who's truly on your purpose and doing your thing and producing the way that you're supposed to be producing and truly are focused, you become a thirst trap to those women. They start looking for you instead of you having to go look for them. That's where you want the equation to be. Okay? So these thirst traps are magnets for undisciplined male attention. So what you want to do is get your mind focused on production and effectiveness over entertainment and comfort. And again, if you have the right disciplines in place, then you don't have to worry about using your willpower to resist the thirst trap, because you want to be looking at the thirst trap in the first place. That's actually where you want to be. Because if you try to make it into a willpower thing, you being a heterosexual man, eventually you're going to lose that battle. I'll let you know. All right, point number 6. Today's topic, once again, is men stop being pussies. Number 6, learn how to converse and engage with confidence. Conversing and engaging with confidence and no longer being a passive communicator. Men are not passive communicators. Men are direct and active communicators. When a man is communicating something to another person, whether you are talking to another man, whether you're talking to a woman, or you're talking to a child, that other person should never be unclear as to exactly what you're saying, exactly to whom you are saying it, and exactly what you mean by what you said. This is a man's responsibility. It should be very clear what you're saying, who you're saying it to, what you mean, where you're going, and what you want the other person to do with this communication. No passivity in your communication. Men tend to be, as a general rule, more rational, objective, logical, and direct in their communication than a woman is. Women are more feeling, more emotional, more empathetic, more passive. Now, of course, you get both men and women in each of these categories at different times, but the general points still stand. So for men, you must learn to be a direct communicator who can communicate with confidence and in such a way that it causes other people to be confident in you and willing to follow what you're saying or where you're going. When you communicate confidently, other people will follow your lead. Even if what you're saying is some complete nonsense, other people will follow it just because of the way that you said it. Remember, most communication is nonverbal. Depending on who you ask, it could be anywhere from 60% to 99% of communication is nonverbal. But everybody agrees that more than half of communication is nonverbal, meaning that's how you say and do things, not what you say and do. People follow the energy more than they follow the specificity of the situation. So when you're directing your conversation, people should know exactly where you stand. They should know exactly what point you're making, and you know exactly to whom you're communicating. This is a juxtaposition that I drew often between the previous 2 presidential candidates in the United States. You had Donald Trump, you had Kamala Harris. Now, a lot of people criticize, people who don't like Donald Trump, often still to this day criticize that, well, he has a very simple message and he has this very crass way of communicating, and he's only liked by people who aren't that intelligent and aren't that smart. Okay, let's say people believe that about him. Some of you listening to this believe that about Donald Trump. Well, let me ask you this question. Have you ever heard Donald Trump speak and been unclear as to what exactly he was saying, what exactly he meant, where he was going to go with it, and who he was talking to? Have you ever been unclear about any of those things? The answer is never. Even if you hate Donald Trump, you never heard that man speak and been unclear about what he was saying, where he was going, what he meant, and what was going to happen based on what he said. No one's ever been unclear. I've never heard Donald Trump speak and been confused. Not once. Now, compare that to Kamala Harris. Think about when Kamala Harris spoke, and they were limiting how much she spoke. Her campaign was actively working to make sure she didn't speak too much during her 100 days or whatever it was that she was the Democratic candidate in 2024. Why were they limiting how much she spoke? Because every time she spoke, she further confused the audience. When I heard Kamala speak, there were many times she spoke and she got done talking and I said, what the hell did she just say? What does she actually mean? Where does she stand on this subject? She's kind of like saying two things at the same time, or she just said a whole bunch of things that didn't really mean anything, what we call word salad. She did that many times. Is this the reason? Am I saying this is the reason why she lost? Yes, this is the reason why she lost. She was a poor communicator. And I'm not saying that all women are poor communicators. I'm using these two individuals as an example that men need to be clear in their communication. Even if people hate what you said, even if people hate you, even if people hate your audience, even if people hate what they believe you to be about, no one should be unclear. Donald Trump fits that perfectly. Again, half of you love him, half of you hate him. Nobody's unclear. Kamala Harris, some of you are fans, some of you are not fans. I guarantee all of us at certain points, and some of you who are fans may not be willing to admit it, all of us at certain points heard Kamala speak and say, what the hell did she just say? What is she saying? Like, what's her point? Where is she going with this? Where exactly does she stand? What does she mean? There were many times I was just confused, and I think I'm a pretty good listener. What the hell did she just say? I don't know. As a man, that should never happen. No one should ever be unclear with you when you talk. That's what I'm saying to the men. No one should ever be unclear. Again, they don't have to agree. They should never be unclear. There's a difference. So, as I said earlier, one of my least favorite types of people is a feminine energy man. Feminine energy men tend to communicate in passive aggression. I'm not a fan of passive aggression. I really despise passive aggression in men. I don't like it when women do it either, but I can at least, understand when a woman is passive aggressive because she's a woman. I don't like when a man is passive aggressive. When a man's being passive aggressive with me, I will check him on it and say, like, yo, you're being passive aggressive. Say what the fuck you got to say. I'll say that to a man. And there are some men listening to this who have had me say it to them. So they know. When you're communicating, it should never be unclear. All right, don't be passive. And this is especially important for you men who are on the hunt for a woman in your life. Women respond to, a feminine woman will respond to masculine energy. Masculine energy is direct. So if you're a man who's out there in the dating world and you're trying to find the right woman for you, you need to be more direct in your communication and more direct in how you are moving with that woman if you want that woman to follow your lead. And if she respects you, she'll follow your lead. And if she doesn't respect you, she's not going to follow your lead, which means you're probably not going to she's not going to end up being your woman because she doesn't respect you. Because you're not being direct in your communication. You're being too passive. You're acting like a female. All right? And she doesn't want to date a female. She wants to date a man. So you got to be more direct. There are a lot of men out there. I've heard this from many men over the last several months. I'll be having conversations with men who the conversation somehow turns to what they want to do in their social life when it comes to dating and women. And I've heard too many men tell me, I don't know if this is a phenomenon that is more widespread or maybe it's just the men that I've been talking to, single men, talking about how they have such trouble dating or getting dates, not actually dating, but getting a date. Getting a woman to agree to go on a date or getting a woman to return a phone call or a text message or getting a woman to just give you her phone number when you meet her out in person. I've heard too many men saying this over the last several months and I'm wondering what it is. And as I've thought about it, one of the conclusions I've come to is that a lot of men are very passive communicators. There's no strength or confidence in your communication. Therefore, the woman doesn't believe you and therefore she's turning you down. It's not because she doesn't think you're cute. It's not because you don't have the right pickup line or your car is not expensive enough. It's none of those shit. It's none of that shit. What it is you're not communicating in a confident way. You're not being direct. Therefore, the woman she has no confidence in her ability she has no confidence in the thought that following you is going to lead somewhere positive. So she decides, you know what? I might as well be by myself. No need to follow this guy. Where's he going to take me? He can't even lead a conversation. How is he going to lead anything else? Let me repeat myself. And again, this is what the woman is thinking when she's looking at you. He can't even lead a conversation. How is he going to lead anything else? I can't follow this guy. And she might think that you're cute. She might actually like you. But she's like, I can't follow this guy. Where's he going to lead me? He can't even lead in this conversation talking to me in the middle of the fucking mall. How's he going to lead a life? How's he going to lead a family? He can't even be direct in the conversation talking to me. No, thank you. And she'll end up with a guy who's 30% less attractive than you, but who has more confidence. You ever seen it? Oh, you have, haven't you, huh? If you haven't, go to Houston, go to LA, go to Vegas, go to Miami, go to New York. And you'll see women with men who are significantly less attractive than they are, but the man has somehow, some way, the man has some level of confidence. Where he got it from, I don't know. Maybe he listened to my show. And he ain't got it. He ain't got that girl because he's pretty, because he ain't pretty. The girl's prettier than he is, significantly. But she's with him. Why? Because of confidence, because he's direct. So any of you men out there listening, you're like, well, I'm short, or I don't have a lot of money, or I'm not that pretty. That's okay. You got enough confidence and you're direct, the woman will follow. Trust me. But you got to step up and have some fucking balls. Now, that's the whole point of the series. This is why the series is called Stop Being Pussies. You can't have pussies. You can't have a pussy and balls at the same time. You got to pick one. Which one you got? Go to the bathroom and look in the mirror if you are unsure. So this all lies in a lack of confidence, folks, when men just don't lead and are very passive, and it causes other people to not be confident in you, as I just explained, even if they can't quite pinpoint why. Sometimes you're just not confident in a person. You don't even understand why you're not confident in them. And usually the reason is because they are not projecting confidence. Therefore, you cannot be confident in them because they're not giving you anything to go off of. And let me give you all a hint out there, everybody out there. Most people are looking for someone to lead them, even men. Most people, men, women, and children, are looking for someone to lead them and tell them what to do, where to go, what to think, how to look at things. They're looking for someone to lead. This is why people who have very strong leadership skills and they have what they call charisma, these people tend to get a lot of people to follow behind them in different ways. Some of them you know as political leaders, some of them you know as influencers. The reason why people of influence are people of influence is because so few other people have any influence or have confidence in themselves. They're looking for someone else who has confidence so they can get behind that person. If you can step up and be the person with confidence, people will follow you because they ain't got nobody else to follow. They can't follow the person in the mirror. They can't follow themselves because they don't believe in themselves, but they will believe in you if you step up. But you got to step up. So anytime you find yourself not able to quite understand why you don't believe in another person, this is the reason. And if you see another person who seems to not believe in you, this is the reason. This is the exact same reason. So I'm telling you explicitly so you can understand this on a more rational, conscious level. But this exists unconsciously all the time. This is an unconscious conversation going on all the time between human beings. Does this person believe in themselves? Yes or no? People are making that snap judgment just by looking at you. Men out there, you're trying to talk to women, you're going to a club, you're going to a bar. The woman is looking at you as soon as you walk in. Does he believe in himself? Yes or no? She's deciding within 5 seconds whether you approach or not. All that said, let's recap. This is part 2 of our ongoing series, Men Stop Being Pussies. Number 4, stop prioritizing comfort, ease, and relaxation. That is not your job. That's what you want to provide for other people. And when you provide that, the payoff, the trade-off of it is you get the appreciation from everyone else because they know you're the one who's providing it and protecting it. Number 5, stop trying to be entertained and look for ways to produce instead. Again, this is the penalty of leadership is that you have to go out there and produce. You're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders like Atlas. And the fact that you're going out there and producing, that gives everybody else space to be entertained and to be at their leisure. And again, when you're truly in your masculine essence, you don't want to be at your leisure. It's boring to be at your leisure. It's painful to be at your leisure for so long. You want to go do something. You can't really go on vacation because how long can you sit and do nothing? I can't do it for more than maybe a day and a half, maybe. Number 6, learn how to converse and engage with confidence. Stop being a passive communicator. All right, men cannot be passive aggressive. If you're going to lead, you cannot be passive aggressive. You have to be direct. You have to be direct. No one should ever be unclear as to where you stand, what you're saying, who you're saying it to, and where you're going. Even if they don't like it, they should never be unclear. Again, look at Donald Trump. Have you ever been unclear as to what he was saying? Never, ever. You ever heard Joe Biden talking? You were unclear what the hell did he just said? It's one of the reasons why he got pulled out of his own nomination. Because he stopped being clear. He became a passive communicator through somewhat not through a fault of his own. He got old. All right, but when he stopped communicating clearly, he lost his power. You understand? When he stopped communicating clearly, he lost his power. All right, I'm using Joe Biden as an example here, but I'm talking to all of you. I hope you all get my point. At one point, he had power because he was communicating clearly. Some of you have never communicated clearly, so you didn't have power to have taken from you. You get it? All that said, folks, tomorrow we'll go into the next part of this series. Between now and then, workonmygame.com, get on my email list, workonyourgameuniversity.com. Be one of my coaching members, have me directly, personally coaching you as a member of the university, get access to all of our trainings, all of our courses, and get on live direct phone calls directly with me, workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre, all